with the guys in Beijing, because obviously they want to do business with them and so on. That's my reading of it.
Yeah. You are quite right. You are touching on some raw nerves here. Actually, the Chinese government has a great tradition of sheltering autocrats.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Actually,
yes, it does. That's why Mugabe probably would not be the last one that the Chinese government is going to shelter if he got into big trouble, and which is very likely in the long run or in the short run. Yes. So actually, he's not buying the mansion in Taipo, because Taipo is very near the border. So actually, he's looking north. Hong Kong is only a stepping stone for him to go to mainland China if real trouble gets him in Zimbabwe.
But I think like what we said last time, like Margaret Chan, maybe she has also got a vote from this president. Isn't it? Because
how do you mean?
The link is that the China government want to please the African country in order to get. Yeah. Yes,
but this is not one particularly important country.
So that's why the Hong Kong government don't blame about it, because they're scared of China.
Yes, they don't give a damn about him.
Yeah.
It's a shame for former Hong Kong government if sheltering such kind of autocrats. Right?
And talk about free economy.
I mean, do you think amongst democratic activists in Hong Kong, do you think we should be speaking out against allowing Mugabe to come here and have a house here?
Yes, definitely. We should speak against this, but this is a shame that we have overlooked this, and our party has not discussed about this. But it is also a shame for especially the Civic Party, because it's tend to be looking so lofty and high class. How can they shelter an autocrat in Hong Kong? Why not? They are asking the Hong Kong government about this.
Because he is actually banned from visiting most Western European countries. Actually,
all decent countries will disallow his entry.
But the other point I would say is that if you ban someone like Mugabe, who else do you ban? Because you could argue that all of the leaders in Beijing should be banned from coming to Hong Kong as well.
Oh, no.
and Mr. Kim in North Korea.
but they are dictators, though, aren't they? Ultimately, they are dictators.
You are also touching on one important issue. Actually, foreign affairs of Hong Kong actually are not in our own hands. It's managed by the Foreign Affairs Representative Office in Hong Kong from the State Department. So actually, whether Mugabe or his daughter is coming to Hong Kong, probably the government has to consult the central government about this. So that's why they can do nothing about stopping them.
We can do nothing about him, but we can do something about his wife. She got beaten up a reporter in Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's right.
But she got the diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, but that's unfair, isn't it? Because it was a crime. If Matt Pearce come and beat me up and I report to the police,
I'll get in serious trouble.
or maybe anybody, but this unfair, isn't it? I mean, in terms of crime.
Because that's what they're saying, that she might have diplomatic immunity. I mean, what's the Chinese expression for that? Diplomatic immunity.
外交豁免權.
Right. Okay. So, because obviously there has been, I don't know in the Chinese media, but there's been some discussion in the English media about whether the police are trying to press charges. It'll be interesting to see if that happens actually, and because it becomes political then, doesn't it? Actually,
the police will find it very troublesome to level charges on her, so they would just persuade the reporter, okay, please drop the charge and everything.
Because with a decision like that, it would get political actually, and the chief executive and the security bureau, they would actually get involved in that decision. I'm sure the police would deny it; they would never say it. But I'm sure that with a decision like that, the police would first consult the top officials, wouldn't they? And I mean, should they be allowed to do that? Because it's strictly speaking a police matter, isn't it? Whether someone punches someone else on the street.
But once you got his identity, you got to ask, because he's a foreigner. Then, especially this one, you got to ask about the government, about how are you going to deal with people in the consulate? She's just like one of the people in the consulate. right? So diplomatic immunity would easily got into the equation.
Yeah, if she can get away, I mean, in terms of crime, then Matt Pearce, your Spider-Man case should get away, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, we hope so.
I mean, some people has the right to beat other people up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I think all the people should beat that bitch up, isn't it?
Let's just say immunity.
Smack him
right?
out.
Not exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, it's but the whole thing about that guy Mugabe, obviously that the Western media tend to be attacking him constantly. Actually, he seems to be a bit of a villain
of Africa.
But it makes me think, because I'm someone who I don't automatically like to believe everything the media say. Actually, I mean, is he getting a bit of an unfair deal? I don't quite.
Well, maybe, but you must be mindful that Mugabe is the last one who fight the colonial powers in Africa. Really, the last one. So his failure is also very soothing to the Western colonists because they were at having that said yes, but Africans cannot govern themselves. Right? If I allow you independence, sooner or later you will become a basket case. Yes, this is some underlying psychology.
$8 billion to buy a bunch of banana. in that country, $8 billion.
Is that what the currency is saying now? Is it?
Yes,
currency.
The runaway hyperinflation. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, world history.
Yeah. I mean, but there are other African leaders who are just as bad in some ways. There's a guy in Swaziland, I think it's called, who's got 13 wives.
Yeah, but they're not so vocal. And they are not chasing out so many foreigners, especially white people, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's particular, I think, it's because Mugabe is attacking white farmers, actually.
Yes.
And then it gets racial, you see, doesn't it?
Yes,
I mean, what element is there an element of white, is there a racial thing against Mugabe then?
Yeah.
Because there might be a bit of that going on, the fact that he's taking white land and stuff.
And also it's in stark contrast to South Africa, which runs quite well. Right. Both countries actually try to instill some kind of appetite, right? But one failed and the other succeeded for a while, right? Now both countries has been returned to African hands. One become democratic, but the other failed totally as an autocracy. This is a very interesting contrast. So that's why it captured Western attention. But what I want to say is Hong Kong people generally are very ignorant of Africa, Zimbabwe, even Sudan, which causes such an uproar worldwide. But then because this Mugabe has a daughter buying a mansion in Hong Kong, then Hong Kong people become interested.
Yeah, it's got that Hong Kong link now.
That is a shame. That is a shame for Hong Kong people.
It's the Hong Kong media bit, how they work, isn't it?
Very parochial.
They like that kind of some kind of link, always some kind of link to Hong Kong, and that's often, unfortunately, the way the media works actually here in Hong Kong, and so on. And anything else you want to say about that, or about?
Yes, about some recently actually. Actually, we have still a lot of issues at hand, right? Especially the domestic violence issue, the domestic violence bill, and what's that? The obscene material tribunal. Actually, both are still fermenting, and actually are waiting the Hong Kong people to decide in a long drawn out culture war, a kind of culture war or cultural contest between the conservative faction and the progressive faction in the Hong Kong society. This has some long-term effect on Hong Kong's as a whole, the metropolitan character of the Hong Kong people.
I think that whole issue is what that is going to be talked about more and more. I think
next time,
and I think we can talk about that more and more next time. I think, but that issue about the obscene articles tribunal, that's going to be in the news actually coming up. Actually, there's going to be some news about that.
The consultation period is expiring, and then we got to do some more action, social action on it. Yes.
And which side are you on then, Dr. Chen?
Certainly for the League of Social Democrats, we are all for those so-called more liberal and all more caring sense. So we care for the general public.
I think we've run out of time, Dr. Chan. Let's talk more about it next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.